Hey folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at question 38, count and say. The way we'll be solving this problem is by using recursion. Since we have to build up all the way from 1 to n, we can keep calling recursively for n minus 1 till we hit the base case 1. So let's get started. So if n is equal to 1, right, we just need to return 1 as a string. And this will take care of the base case, right? So, and then for previous, what we need to do is we need to call it recursively, count and say n minus 1. And then we take it from there. So this is where the actual problem solving starts. So to solve the problem, you need a couple of things to, like, we need to set up a couple of things before we get into the meat of the problem. We need a string builder, let's call it SB, and initialize it to be a new string builder, right? And then what do we need next? We also need the current count of the digit that we're looking at, so let's call that current count, and let's just initialize that to 1, because the current count of any given like character should be at least 1. And then char current character, char to be equal to, we take the first character from the previous string, right? And then we build on top of that character at 0. And we also need the length, right? Just to know how long to iterate for. Int length, let's just call it L, would be previous dot length. Awesome. All right, once we have that, we need to start the for loop. Since we have already looked at the first character right here, when we collect the current character, we start iterating from the second index, which is 1 rather than 0, I less than L, increment I, and then what do we have? Right, so if previous dot character add, if the current character that we're looking at is equal to the one that we assigned previously, so current character, right? Then all you need to do is increment the count, so current count. If it is not, we know that it's a new character. So what we need to do is we actually need to append that to the string. So it'd be sb.append. First, we need to add the count, which is current count. And then since this is like you can call it as a chain method, you can basically call something on something. So you append the count and then you append the character, current character, right? And then you've added that to the string and you need to reset everything, right? Which is basically current count would be equal to 1 because you're starting from scratch again, and then the current character would be equal to the character that we're looking at, which is a new character, previous dot character add 1. Sorry, I. Awesome. So once this is done, we need to add like the last character as well. This is something that I've missed previously, as in like very easy for me to forget that to add the last characters that we're looking at, because once we go through the for loop, right, we keep looking at new characters, and if there's like an old character, we add that, and if there's a new character, we just keep incrementing the count, and we would reach the end of the for loop, but we wouldn't have appended that. So that's the reason why in the end, after we exit the for loop, we'd still append that, and in the end, you would just return that string builder as a string, sb.toString. Right. Pretty simple to solve this problem. Nothing too complicated. I think the hardest part of this question was actually understanding the question itself. Not the most intuitive question to understand, but once you get it, it's pretty simple. So let's try compiling this and see if it's okay. The first few test cases are okay. Everything else is okay as well. Awesome. So let's talk about the space and the time complexity. The space complexity of the entire solution is O of n, since we keep calling it incrementally. Um, and then we have to go all the way from 1 to n. The space complexity is of n. The time complexity is n multiplied by k, and the k comes from the number of letters that um, you're looking at, the number of characters. You could argue that since the length of this keeps increasing, it could be increasing exponentially, but that's something that you can talk to with your interviewer. But you could just say n multiplied by k, n because of the number of times that we're looking at it, and k is the number of characters that we're looking within the for loop. Awesome. So if you have any questions about the problem, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I would really, really appreciate that. Keeps me more motivated to make more videos. Thanks so much, and I'll see you folks in the next video. Peace.